Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central, and let's get started with today's news. So this is kind of following up to what Slash had talked about before. So he was asked about the Me Too movement in Classic Rock magazine, and he talked about how he supports it, but feels like some people's careers are being ruined needlessly. And he talked a bit more about the Me Too movement in an interview with Yahoo Music. So the guitarist was asked if he thought the band's catalog has aged well in the wake of the Me Too movement. He said, "I've never thought of that," Slash responded. "It's never crossed my mind. I mean, I think when the Me Too thing really blew up, the thought crossed my mind of a bunch of musicians, not particular ones, but just the musicians who might be implicated. But for the most part, as far as all the ones I know, it wasn't like that. We didn't have particular predatory relationships with girls. It was a lot more the other way around. In some cases, anyway, so some of the songs and all of that were sort of sexist in their own way, but not taken seriously. I don't think they were malicious or anything like that." So this is an exciting piece of news. So everybody loves the wilderness years of Axl between 94 and 2000. And we had a new photo of Axl, a good quality photo of Axl emerged this week from 1995. Now, it's from an event that we have two previous photos of Axl from. So according to the guy who I guess was at the event, I guess he's a realtor now, but he shed some backstory on exactly what Axl was doing at this event. And he said, "Here's a clean shot with the 1919 Gibson-style U-harp guitar." He went on to say about Axl, he said, "One of the funny moments when a random picture shows up on your Instagram feed and then you recognize your old trade show display and guitars in the background. This was taken at the 1995 Santa Monica Vintage Guitar Show. Axl was cool enough to pose with a bottle of our Virtuoso Premium Polish and wanted a shot of himself with the 1919 Gibson-style U-harp guitar. Had a lot of famous musicians come through, but only got shots of Jackson Browne and Lenny Kravitz." There's a new interview of Slash where he talked a bit about why he doesn't want to sign with a major record label. And, it's kind of funny in this day and age. I'm surprised there even record labels exist. He said, "I don't want to sign on a major label. I started my own label and I have major distributors. That works great for me. I'm in control and my own boss. I don't have to pay everything I make to someone else. It's a crazy business right now, especially for up-and-coming rock bands." He also talked a bit about the ongoing demise of the music industry. He said all the warning signs were there and the record business didn't want to hear it. He said at this point you've got big commercial artists that are in your sort of upper echelon of top 40 that labels pay out these massive advances to, and they get their money back in every way possible. Then you have these other artists that say don't conform to the top 40 standard. They've got one shot. If they don't make it, they're out. There's no A&R people. There's no one going out to all the venues looking for new talent to develop. All things considered, even Guns N' Roses, there was a nucleus of a great group or a great artist that needed to hone in their skill and pull one out, 2, even 3 records before they really hit it. But there was a promise and they saw it and they had a vision. That just doesn't exist anymore." So there's a new interview that Ricky Rocket of Poison had done, at least one that showed up on YouTube. So we talked a bit about Slash's audition for Poison. And if you guys have heard Slash's version of the events, he went in there, he said, he quote, "I played the shit out of the songs, but he just wasn't in line with how they were deciding to dress themselves and wear all that makeup, and he basically decided he didn't want the gig." But Ricky claims that Slash was actually really upset about not getting the gig, and he talked about it in a radio interview, so I've linked to it down below if you guys want to check out his version of the events. We also had a surprising mention of Guns N' Roses, so Variety, which, features interviews with a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they posted an interview with the cast of the new movie Her Smell, which was inspired by Guns N' Roses' reunion. So there's a short little clip on Twitter that they posted from the Toronto International Film Festival, and they interviewed the cast and talked to the writer about how they came up with the film. And he basically said it's a movie about this all-female punk rock group and how the writer really wrote it around the time of the Guns N' Roses reunion. And he said that sort of served as a catalyst for the story. So if you guys want to see the interview, click the link below. There's a new interview with Vicky Hamilton, who used to be Guns N' Roses' former manager. It's a really good interview because most of it's basically a sightseeing tour, and she gives a sightseeing tour of the Sunset Strip and talks about what the Sunset Strip was like back in the 80s. So I've linked to that video below if you guys want to go check it out. So Slash played the Whiskey A Go-Go not too long ago. He played 2 gigs there to kick off his tour as part of the Living the Dream tour. And we had some people from the Guns N' Roses entourage show up, including tour manager Del James. We also had Beta, as well as their photographer for Guns N' Roses, Kat Benzova. Thanks for watching, everybody. That does it for today's news. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed that video, and be sure to subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. Please go check us out on gnrcentral.com. We post the latest and breaking Guns N' Roses news as it breaks. And then you guys can also go support us on Patreon. The link to our Patreon page is down below. You'll get some cool perks and behind-the-scenes stuff. And you guys can also go follow us on Twitter and Facebook. The links to all that good stuff is below as well. Take care.
What's going on? It's Alex Graspop from Hookers and Blow, and you're watching GNR Central.
Right on.